Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your live match reaction following Brighton Hove Albion 0, Ipswich Town 0. A point on the road against high-flying Brighton. What are your thoughts this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're watching? If you're watching live with us now, welcome. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that game. There'll be a link being dropped very shortly, should you want to come on and have your say, because after all, it's your opinion, and who can say it better than you can? So there'll be a link in the chat. If you're watching on catch-up, FTA, comment for that algorithm. Let us know what you thought of the game. If you didn't see the game, what you thought of the highlights. And don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. And every time you play, you do support the crucial work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance, a crucial service. How you play, you download the app onto your mobile device, tablet, whatever it is you use, and away you go. Match Bingo, play Match Bingo, win cash prizes, over 18s only, be gamble aware. Link has been dropped. I'll bring in Ben in just a moment, and we've got Curtis joining us after Ben. Just going to run through a few comments beforehand. We've got Benjamin Dow. Welcome in, Benjamin. Twenzarbi and Greaves were superb again. Great point. Yeah, particularly Greaves. I thought, well, and Axel, actually. He was really one-on-ones against the Brighton winger. I thought Axel was superb. So, yeah, great point, Benjamin. Thank you very much. Chris, if there's a movie headline in that, it would have to be Under Siege. Richard Muric answered a lot of critics today. Imperious. Richard, great comment. I'll bring in Ben Adams, because Ben on Wednesday's match preview was obviously, skeptical at best about Muric. But Ben, what a performance by him today.
First off, can you hear me okay?
Just about. Yeah, I'll try and turn you up. You carry on.
Not a great mic. I had questions of Muric, and today he answered them. I think particularly the first half, that the double save is fantastic. The first one was thought of, the second one was reaction. Really good, but I think commanded his area really well with the simple stuff. Catching, distribution. I thought it was really, really, really good. But the entire back line was. But essentially, you have at times an 11-person back line. And I think to a man, I've got a headache watching that. It was like the Alamo.
Yeah, he was very good today, Muric. He claimed everything. He was commanding in that area, and of course, he saved a lot of things. Ben, the mic's not great, so I'm going to let you go in just a second. Before I let you go, who else stood out for you before I let you go?
Leif Davis, I think particularly, had a really good game, particularly in the first half. Very well-timed tackles, very good positioning off the ball. A lot of good performances, but for me, Leif Davis stood out.
Excellent. Ben, appreciate you coming on. Shame about the microphone, but all the best. Enjoy. Great kitchen as well, by the way. Some could hear him, some couldn't hear him. I had to turn him right up on my microphone to hear him, so apologies on that one. Let me just adjust it before I bring in Curtis, otherwise Curtis will blow my ears away. We've got Joe says defensive masterclass. Liam's only 4 points behind Man United after 4 games. And we've sorry, that's a great comment, Liam. That's really tickled me. And I might use that on one of my TikTok reviews this evening. And we've played City, Liverpool, and Brighton. Paul says great performance. Muric masterclass. Sorry, Muric was fantastic. I've added masterclass in there myself, my friends. Right, Curtis, welcome in. Hopefully your mic's absolutely better than Ben. But I appreciate Ben joining us. Good. What are your thoughts this evening?
Great game. I thought, considering it had the chance there to be a very, very, very difficult game, I thought we acquitted ourselves well against a very good informed side. Defense top notch. I thought, as you were saying before, I thought Axel had a fantastic game against that Matoma on that side there. And I thought Greaves had a fantastic. I think they all had a fantastic game, holding them off there. I think every block, putting the bodies on the line, flinging the heads at it for the second balls. I thought we played really well. And I think Muric has. I think he's answered a lot of doubters with that performance there today. I think all the balls that came in that he claimed, even towards the end when he's punching them out, I thought that was fantastic. I mean, the double save was absolutely unreal. But yeah, no, all round, I'm very happy with that. I thought if anything, I thought we grew into the game more. And I think stats also back that up going into that second half. I thought we started to apply a bit more pressure on our side, albeit not really with enough intent on it. But no, I'm happy with that. I'm happy. It's a very, very, very precious point away from home, because I don't think there will be many teams who take on Brighton at home with the way they play and come away with just a singular point. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, as we should be as fans. This is the Premier League. The teams that are like Brighton, who have put together consecutive seasons, they're going to be stronger. And at times, it was like a siege mentality, as Chris said earlier, in the chat. But as somebody else has pointed out, this is a team in Brighton that have beaten Man United, etc. This is a good team, and we've gone there today away from home, and we've got a point on the road, and we've battled for it. And that double save you mentioned of Muric, really impressed with. But for me, as a Sunday morning manager, albeit, that towards the end of the game, just absolutely awesome to see him come in. Every time that ball was lofted in that area, you could tell he'd made his mind up early, and it was going to be his hell or high water. And you love that as a manager, because it's commanding, but it also alleviates so much stress and pressure in that back line, because they know that ball's coming in, my keeper's coming, and he gets there. He got there every single time, which is a lot more impressive. But Axel, you mentioned him a little bit here, sort of dive into his performance, because he's contending with a fantastic winger, a winger that can turn him inside out, take him this way, take him that way. How did you see his performance?
I don't think it's a stretch to say that was probably his best ever game in a Town shirt. I think when you put him up against the quality of winger that he was up against, I think he had him in his pocket pretty much. Whilst he had a few runs here and there, he couldn't get past him. I think it was more that Belieber in the middle that I was more worried about, basically orchestrating things for Brighton there. But I think that's Axel's best game that he's ever had in a Town shirt. I thought he commanded that side very well. Even the times where it looked as though Matoma was going to get ahead of him, he managed to get a foot in and do that last ditch defending, which is just what you want to get against a player like that. So no, it's one of them. You don't really hear much about Axel throughout his time at Town. I don't think he's someone who really comes out in front of the cameras and does much talking. But to have a player like that in your ranks who is going to put his whole body on the line and put in a performance like that, I mean, it's fantastic for us, especially going ahead to this season now, because those are the type of performance that you need to be putting in against teams like Brighton, who are going to pressure and pressure and pressure. I mean, they didn't just press us for like 45 minutes and then take the foot off the pedal. It was 90 minutes of constant, ongoing pressure. So him in his head, he had to prepare for that all game. There was no let off. And I thought he handled himself well. Very, very nice. Very nice.
Absolutely. Stay right there, because we've got Andy from Boston, USA joining us. Andy, welcome in. Never spoke to you before. Love to see you. How are you?
Hey, Gov. Thanks. Pleasure to be on.
Hey,
what a great result.
Yeah, talk us through it. What are your thoughts, Andy?
Well, I'm sitting here. I'm watching it on the channels here that I get in the US, and just loving it, really. I mean, I wasn't nervous until about the 65th minute, where I thought, we've got a realistic chance of getting something out of this game. The Delap hit the post moment was amazing. Absolutely amazing on his own. If he'd have scored that, he'd have been celebrating on his own, because there was no one from Ipswich near him other than the fans at that end. And I think just really it was a great defensive display by us. And I loved Twansabi's performance. Muric in goal, goodness me, double saves, just commanding it in the air so well. Not so good on his distribution today. I think he needs to still work on that. But I would have him as my man of the match, actually, Muric, overall.
Yeah, and I think many people would agree with you, Andy. And you mentioned Delap there. I was sort of saying it in the WhatsApp group with Matt. I wouldn't have brought him off at that point. He just hit the post. And that chance, he fashioned all himself, didn't he, Andy? Like, as you say, he had no one around him, and he's almost bullied the centre half into creating the opportunity for himself. And he's so unlucky to hit that post. But I just thought another 5 or 10 minutes of Delap for me, Andy. How did you see that sort of that post incident and also the substitution? Did it come a little bit too early for you?
I think it's surprised me just how good his pace is. I know early days when he was playing in the pre-season, he was bossing the defence and fouling quite a bit with his physicality. But he shows he's got way more than that with his pace. And the way he scored that last goal when he was in full flow, goodness me, he can hit a shot hard when he's in full flow. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him continue as well. But on the other hand, it's nice for Hurst to get a bit of a run out. Hurst didn't seem to have much going on, really. I suppose we were still in very much a defensive mode at that point, and probably we needed to refresh things a bit. Either way, I think we've got two great forwards there.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm a big George Hurst fan myself, and I just it was that moment I thought maybe Delap's starting to come alive. He's starting to make the centre halves submit a little bit, having not had much of the ball. But hey, King McKenna chooses what he needs to do, and we all will believe it and follow it because he's earned that right. But just as a fan with an opinion, I would love to have seen him another 5 minutes or so. Burns came back, Andy, before I let you go.
Yeah.
It's great to see Wes back in the sound shirt, back playing. How did you see his performance?
It's the name on the back of this shirt. Is
it really?
Number 7? Yeah, I love the guy, and I think early on in the game, I think he showed some very nice touches and some nice work on the wing. Perhaps faded a little bit as the game went by, but the commentary here was really talking him up quite a lot, actually saying that Town have missed him, and I do think that is the case. Whenever he doesn't play, he can create something when you don't expect it. His crosses, his forward play is excellent. Again, we've got strength in depth with Ogbeni coming in to replace him as well, but really happy to see Burns in play, and he's a big favourite of mine.
Absolutely, Andy, it's a pleasure talking to you. Please click that link again. You're more than welcome anytime.
Pleasure. Thanks, man.
All the best.
Good
Have a great day in Boston, USA. Curtis, and pick up on Andy's thoughts there in regards to Delap and Burns before I let yourself go and bring in Coxey.
Well, I think
two great performances, really.
I mean, that's the thing. Whilst we're there talking about Tuanzebe and Muric, it's quite easy to forget that mad run that Delap did actually go on. It's quite easy to forget that did actually happen in that game. It was pretty much almost a carbon copy of the Fulham goal. Mad run, powerful shot, right in the top corner. Just a shame it didn't go in. You just think on another day it hits the inside of the post, and everyone goes into raptures. I did think it was odd. I did think it was odd the timing of the substitution, and I can only think that it was somewhat pre-planned that he was going to come off at that time. Otherwise, I don't know why you would have took him off so soon after hitting the post, because you as you mentioned then, you'd imagine you'd have that fire in your belly. You imagine that would pump you up, ready to go on another run, ready to try again. But like you said there, I forgot his name now. I forgot his name. Andy. Like Andy said there, it was good to see George Hurst get minutes. Again, the thing is with George Hurst, it's going to be a lot tougher for him this season in the Premier League, because we know the game he plays, and we know it's going to be a lot more difficult. Though those chances that he possibly did get in the Championship and League One, they really are going to become a bit more sparse with the way he plays now. I do think Delap offers that extra burst of pace, as proven in the last 2 games. And I mean, it could have resulted in 2 goals. Unfortunately, it has only resulted in 1 so far. But I do think there is certain qualities that George Hurst has in certain games that will come up where he can rough up a defence a bit, push people off. Today was a lot of us under pressure and having to do a lot of defending, which unfortunately I think left George Hurst a bit isolated up front. But that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine, because then it means we have more men to defend, more men to hold back, so that wasn't an issue. Wes Burns, again, he's I mean, it's one of those things when you're playing poorly in a poor team like we were for many years. When these players used to get injured, they used to get injured and be out for 2 months, 3 months. You'd never ever get them back as soon as it could. Whereas now, a lot of these injuries that we see at our club, they seem to say that they're going to be out for like 8 to 10 weeks and this, that, and other. And they're back in. I mean, I don't know whether it's just felt like they've come back extra quick because of the international break. But when you play
I think so. And I think the infrastructure around the football club is now better. The sports science, the medical department. I think everything around the football club as just, and you're now a Premier League team, for example. So you've got the budget, etc. So, but yeah, I feel your point. I feel what you're saying there. It's an exciting time. Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely love it because now we've got a club where players do want to play for us and enjoy the good times along with us. But I thought Wes Burns did well. I thought he was typical Wes Burns. I thought he used his pace very well at the start of the game. But like Andy said there, I thought he was burning out a little bit towards the end. Therefore, obviously, rightly replaced as expected again. But yeah, I do think games like that, where you have the quality to bring on an Ogbene for Burns, and therefore you've got that pace for pace substitution right there. I mean, it's enough to certainly frighten some defences, and certainly aging defences that we will come up against in the Premier League. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with that. My Saturday at 5 o'clock is very good. I was hoping for a draw today,
and you got one,
and that's what we got, and I'm happy. And I'd like to think that the next game that we have, that could hopefully be our first win of the season as well. But we'll take it one day at a time, as they all say.
Excellent. Curtis, appreciate you coming on the Match Reaction Show. Look after yourself. Have a great Saturday evening. All the best. As Mark says, fantastic point. We've got Coxie coming in a second. Leanderson's waiting to come on in. Josh has another week on the training ground to get even better before Saints game. Who have a game midweek, by the way, so he'll be less fresh than us. Some great comments coming in. But half time, if you like the channel, which obviously you do because you sat right here watching it, and it's half time, so you've made it through this far, hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget, we are partnered with SolarWise Roofing and Building Services Limited. Get your roof checked before winter really hits. No one wants to be sat under a leaky under a leaky roof. So be wise, be SolarWise. Call 01206 628 544. That's 01206 628 544, or visit SolarWise Roofing and Building.co.uk for a whole range of services that they perform. Check them out, guys. SolarWise Roofing and Building. Ed says, good result. Take the point and build on it. Great comment. Nathan says, a big point away from home. Delap and Clark both look lively. 3 points against the Saints, and then we are cooking. Coxie, I want to start with this question because it's coming from the chat. Brian, one of our YouTube members says, O'Shea for Wolfie. Your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that one? It's the first big surprise, really, when the team came out, was that obviously O'Shea was in and Wolfie was out. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know if you know why Wolfie was out today. It seemed to kind of because he wasn't even on the subs bench today, so you presume there's maybe a bit of illness or whatever's going on.
I haven't heard anything.
No, as I haven't. There's no whispers or anything around on the social medias at all. Yeah, but as we brought O'Shea to be a defender to come in, so he's in today, and that whole as a team we defended very well today. At times it was desperate, but when you're playing well, you deserve that bit of luck. But he was fairly solid in there with Greaves and the other two wing backs there.
Yeah, I thought the whole back five had a fantastic game. O'Shea being one of those. But it was only 10 days ago. I was really promoting that partnership that Wolfie and Greaves had. So we don't know why. Could have been an injury, could have been an illness, could have been just a simple tactical selection by McKenna. I'm sure we'll find out in the coming weeks. But Morsey and Phillips, another really good game from them two in midfield. Coxie, how did you see them? Them two today?
Yeah, absolutely great today. Morsey obviously got booked earlier on, so he felt he's going to have to be careful. And you can see it in his game that he was then sort of took the foot off the pedals. He didn't risk it anymore. But yeah, those two together. I mean, and Phillips needs to, he's had a bit of a bad time. He didn't, he had the big money move to Man City. So I think he just wants to, come in somewhere and just enjoy his football. And so far, he seems to be doing that. And yeah, they're a great little partnership together. They seem to complement each other quite well. With all due respect to Massimo, but there's a little bit of quality. Like I said, no disrespect to Mass, but he's got that bit of obviously that bit more quality, and alongside our captain there who gives his all every time. Absolutely brilliant.
He's growing week on week, isn't he, Phillips?
Yes.
You know, he's really, you know, he's built this performance today was building on the foundation of the game against Fulham for me. And again, it's very similar to Fulham. I don't know how you saw it. I just felt he sort of grew into it. You know, the more the minutes ticked away, the more the game went on. I just thought he grew, and his ability to read the game is far better than I even anticipated it being when he arrived. You know, he's absolutely brilliant at just reading the game around him. And just putting himself in the right position, isn't he?
Yeah, well, you know, he's had big money moves, and you know, you don't get them for nothing. But yeah, he reads the game absolutely superb. You know, also he's having that understanding with Morsey, that's building. Like I said, the foundations, you know, a little bit built on from the Fulham game, which seems like forever ago.
Yeah, it does.
He's
really?
also now he didn't go off on international duty, so he's had 2 weeks to stay back, or whoever stay back, and yeah, that's obviously helped him. And you know,
talk about
fingers crossed he can continue. And we'll see.
What about the guts and determination this performance has shown us, Coxie? Because you know, Lewis says here, Fulham and today have shown we can dig in when needed and grind something out, which is a good quality to have, and not one we really had to display under Kieran McKenna before. Shows another side to us, and I think you know, Lewis, who's one of our active Discord members, you can become a Discord member by becoming a YouTube member. Hit the join button if you haven't already. That'll be busy this evening, and it'll be a voice chat as well. Just because we've got a point on the road, I'll drop a voice chat. So if you want to come on, you know, and just talk. No one can see you. Just talk about your game. You can, but Coxie, that guts and that determination. Talk us through that, because that was on, you know, full display this afternoon. Full display.
Absolutely, it was a gutsy performance. Yeah, that's what we needed. I think I have to remind everybody we are in the Premier League, and you know, Brighton have got off to an absolutely brilliant start, and I had to keep reminding myself that sometimes. You know, there was a few sort of passes earlier on sort of went astray, but no. They defended. It was a gutsy performance, and especially from the back five, if you like. They really sort of dug in, and you know, nothing was. You know, it was the old Lord of the Rings thing. Nothing. You know, you will not pass.
You shall not pass.
You
Yeah,
shall
absolutely.
not pass.
Absolutely. All right, stay right there. I'll bring in Lee Anderson. Lee, impact from the bench today was evident. What first of all, the subs. What were your thoughts on their performances? Who stood out, etc. From your perspective?
Well, I think just firstly, I've never celebrated a 0-0 like that before. That was fantastic. You know, I think we've picked their pocket with a point there, to be fair. But on the subs, so yeah, I mean, yeah, listened to the chat previously about about the timing and such. Like, well, actually, as soon as they came on, we got a foothold in the game. Now, it's not just about them. I mean, I think we rode the storm, and even with Brighton's dominance for the first 55 minutes, whatever it was, you know, you'll always have a period of where you'll have a bit of possession, and we did. But really, to stand out, well, all three subs contributed. You can see the difference between Hurst and Delap. We all knew that. He tried to bring people into the game a little bit more, but Clark is the one, isn't he? Clark can drive you up the pitch, which is what we need, particularly away from home.
Yeah. So Clark for me, Ando, and it's his being Matt Phillips's best mate, you know, Harry Hindsight. For me, he should have been in from the start. That is his from the start instead of Burns. Perhaps Burns come on from the last 20 minutes, but it is Hindsight. You know,
yeah. You can do it either way, but I think Smodics, I think, rides the storms. He's the starter, and then I think Clark when there's a bit more space, when the game opens up, perhaps that's what he's bringing him on for. And I think, like the strikers, I think it was what Curtis was saying around the Delap and Hurst. I think away from home, you might see Hurst a little bit more, and then Delap coming on for the last 15-20 when the game's a little bit more stretched to go on those sort of runs that he did. I mean, that was just an amazing run. I mean, no one.
Yeah, I think as Gov said, I think that must have been a pre-arranged substitution before.
Oh, that was Curtis. That wasn't me. But yeah,
it was Curtis. Yeah, I agree with Yatesy there that it was it seemed like that because that was not long after he had that amazing run, and he deserved the goal. But he hit the post, and that just without enough. That proves how quick he is, how strong he is. He is winning me over. And at the end of the set, you keep going like this. I'll be eating that humble pie with Frank from Holland because I I did say, and I hold my hands up, that we could have done better with the money, but yeah, you proved me wrong, Liam, and I'll eat that humble pie.
Phenomenal. He's
been
really
phenomenal. Yeah,
phenomenal. And that opportunity, you'll see it on Match of the Day tonight. Of course, you will. It's a chance that we hit the post with, and on a different day it goes in, and you perhaps nick that, with 3 points in your back pocket. Do you deserve the 3 points overall? Maybe, maybe not. But they're the moments in the Premier League where we're going to earn our points and our money. And I just thought today, Lee, it's so long without the ball, so long doing the huffing and the puffing, and if anybody deserved that, just to have that little bit of luck right at the end, it was him, because I thought he was phenomenal again. With the huff, the puff, the press, as they call it. Just a great performance, and he's really building and growing, isn't he?
Oh yeah, you can see it with Sheep, but I think to bring him off quite so early, I think if you think back, he's had to play pretty much all the season. He's been away with the under-21s and played a lot. So you can see, we don't want any injuries here. Hurst isn't fully back. So, it just shows the trust in McKenna has in all the players that he can bring them on after 50 minutes. Interestingly, that Morsey got substituted today. I think he was flat out today and got picked a few times. He got nutmegged a couple of times. So it wasn't his best game. That's not. I suppose it's not really a criticism, but normally he's a lot more dominant than he was today, and it was quite interesting telling that Luongo came on for Morsey towards the end. Yes, he was on a booking, and I think as you then get tired and such, like, you don't want to risk that double booking. But it's not very often Sam Morsey comes off. But
no.
But just going back to the Delap post, we're all sitting here with our Ipswich tinted glasses on, saying, "Oh yeah, on another day that would have gone in. On another day we're going to lose 3-0."
Of course, that's the point, isn't it?
That's the thing. Yeah. Caught them, punched them. The double save, especially the second one, made himself big and got himself across the goal. Was fantastic.
Yeah,
but yeah, long may it continue with him.
Excellent. Appreciate that, Lee. I really do. Man of the match before I let you go.
Well, I think you got to give it. I think you got to give it to Muric, basically, on the saves that he made. And if you're a centre back and he's coming for those crosses and he's catching things and punching them away, then he's earned his crust today. And even the shots that were close, he wasn't even at full stretch for any of those. Any of those others inside the post, he would have saved those. And that shot he saved in the early on in the game, where he went down to his left, I think that early shot was inside the post. I think it hit him on his wrist. That was another good save. So Muric for me.
Excellent. Lee, enjoy your Saturday evening. All the best, my man. Thank you for coming on. Coxie, who was your man of the match?
Okay, honourable mentions time first of all. I'll go along with Andrew there. Muric, absolutely fantastic save. That double save was quality, and I hope they show that on Match of the Day tonight.
Oh, they will.
Well, I bloody hope so. Leif Davis, probably his best so far this season, and he got forward. He seemed to sort of, done defensive job when needed to today, and Calvin Phillips was back, covering him at time, which is good to say. But my man of the match is the same as 2 weeks ago. I think I raised a few eyebrows, but it's the man. It's the Axel at the back there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, we're about to close. We're 2 minutes away from closing, but we've got Phil, who I think is at Brighton. So I'll try and bring him in, see if we can see him and hear him. If we can't, I'll drop him out. But Phil, you've got a few minutes. What are your thoughts? And we can't.
Connection.
The signal's not good, Phil. Never mind. Come on tomorrow's show. We're live tomorrow, 1 p.m, not 1 a.m. No. 1 p.m. tomorrow for more reaction, more debate, more of everything you absolutely love. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'll close with a few comments. Cox, if you hear something you want to jump in on, please do. But Ashley says, who's a Brighton fan, fair play, you lot solid at the back. And from what I've seen, you'll be the most likely to stay up out of the 3 promoted. Appreciate that, Ash. All the best for the rest of the season. Ancient Tractor Boy, man of the match for me was Twenzabi, Benjamin Watlin. Should have been Hutch on the right. Sammy down the middle and Clark on the left to start. Sean,
I think that's fair comment, that one.
Yeah, you agree with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, of our YouTube members. Morsey and Phillips fouled to control the midfield today. Morsey getting yellow early on didn't help, but he was quiet today. Paul P. Next week, with the first week, McKenna has the whole squad together on the training pitch. Things can only get better. They can only get Cheers for that little earworm you put in there, Paul. And we'll finish with Paul, who says, if Muric can consistently play like that, we've got ourselves a bargain. I told you all Muric to be a big player for us this year, and he's come up big today as Town draw 0-0 away at Brighton. 2 points on the board. Join us again tomorrow, as I say, 1 p.m. But until then, that man there's Coxie. I've been at the Governor. Thank you to Curtis, Ben, and Lee for joining us, and Phil for a brief appearance, but I'm sure we'll see him tomorrow. Have a great Saturday evening. If you're on Discord, there'll be a voice chat, so go in there and shout, scream, celebrate, use your heart's content. If you're not on Discord, why not? Hit the join button and join us. And don't forget, Stowmarket Osteopaths, 01449613633, 01449613633. Stowmarket Osteopaths, don't live life in pain. Give Freddie a call. Right, I'm out of here. I can hear a Chinese takeaway calling my name, Coxie. How about you? What are you having?
I haven't quite decided yet. I had Chinese last night, so.
Oh, did you?
Might have to be something on home cooked today, I think.
Oh, never mind. But you can console yourself with Town having a point on the road.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you.